Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Those VOD watchers. VOD watchers like unicorns, you know. They're so rare and valuable. You almost never see one. I figured I'd share a little bit of what happened yesterday. At least in a hypothetical. So, for anybody who was actually paying attention, I was coughing. A lot. Like, a lot. Every minute or so, I was having issues with coughing. So I was like, okay, you know, I'll just tough through it, right? But it didn't stop. So I ended up stopping the stream, because, duh, essentially. And immediately afterwards, I went down. Did we just... Oh my god, that's actually kind of horrifying. Okay. I went and laid down. And when I say laid down, I mean I passed out. Like, it's hard to even explain, because anybody who knows me knows I have trouble sleeping, and have since I was a child. But no, I laid down, and then it was 90 minutes later. It was extremely disorienting. So I was like, aha, we're better, right? I could get back to streaming, and everything's cool. No, what woke me up was a coughing fit. And I then spent the entirety of yesterday coughing about every minute or so. My ribs actually are very sore today because of how much coughing I did yesterday. Now you're thinking, are you better now? Well, obviously I'm not coughing as much. But I started to get a little bit concerned because that's just a non-stop dry cough. You know, nothing was coming up, nothing was happening. So it's just something irritating my throat. What the hell's going on? Now, unrelated story. For the last few weeks, possibly over a month or so at this point, I've been having issues sleeping because I've been having issue breathing at night. And so I was like, okay, well, you know, obviously I need to fix this somehow. I had a random idea to go ahead and check the humidity levels of the room. Just to see, just to check where it was at. So I go ahead and order, this was actually last week at this point, I finally pulled the trigger and ordered a humidity sensor. Just to see, you know, just to see what it was like. That arrived yesterday by what is effectively coincidence. So I'm upstairs and I'm helping with something, and I notice I'm not coughing as much, which is strange. But no, I've never smoked in my life. I'm actually allergic to nicotine. So I'm upstairs and fire alarm goes off. It's like, oh my god. So I go ahead and it's not actually a fire alarm. It's not a real fire alarm. It's not anything serious. It's just my brother-in-law is cooking. And you know how oversensitive those stupid alarms are, right? So that's going off, and there's a bit of smoke in the room, and I set up the fan to blow it all out outdoors, and you get the general idea. It's the usual standard procedure I just happened to be there for. But what struck me in the back of my mind was that despite being in a space where there was literal smoke, I wasn't coughing. That really confused me. It just stuck in the back of my brain. So I opened up my package from Amazon, which had a few unrelated things. But one of those things was that sensor. So while I was up there, I went ahead, because I like to just immediately... Come on. I like to immediately just get all that stuff ready and get the boxes out to go into the recycling. So I'm getting that all set up, and I notice the sensor, it's actually this thing right here. And it says 75% humidity, which is about right. You know, that's normal humidity. And I'm only telling you this so you get a little bit of a vague idea. It's like, okay, sure, whatever. Pop it in my pocket, do a bunch of other stuff, get a little bit more cleaning done, get back downstairs, start coughing again. Now, you already can see where this is going because of the line in which I'm telling you this story. But at the time, I was just like, alright, whatever, back to coughing. Maybe it's dusty down here? I don't know, because I do have a lot of fans going on at all times. Oh, weird. Well, whatever. At one point, several minutes later, I realized I hadn't actually pulled the damn thing out of my pocket. So I pulled the humidity sensor in my pocket, and it is 15%. That's pretty dry. Now, what continues to be funny about all this is I actually had a humidifier back in the apartment, but obviously I had no use for it, so it was in the pile of sell or get rid of. What's really funny about that is that thanks to effectively coincidence and circumstance, it never got sold or gotten rid of. So I go find it immediately, clean it out. It's actually sitting right next to me now, pouring humidity into the room. And again, while I wouldn't exactly say I am better, I am no longer coughing every like every 30 seconds or so. Near as I can tell, based on some reverse engineering, what overall happened was I was sick, obviously, and fighting it off. And during the hacking up phase, my favorite phase of being sick, my throat never recovered from the hacking up because it was so dry, it couldn't retain dryness. So even though I was drinking water constantly, it just could not actually stop being agitated. That's why it was all dry coughing. That is presumption. I'm not 100% certain, of course. We'll see how we do today, obviously. If I can add one last further addendum. One of my friends who does not live in the United States was like, why don't you just go to the doctor? And I laughed so hard that I descended into a coughing fit for like a solid 20 seconds. Which probably doesn't sound like a long time. That was a long laugh. So, Melisara's voice pervades your thoughts. The humans will serve us in life and in death. We're the good guys, by the way. The Stormpike forward camp sits atop Corrin's dagger, west of Nosifera's Naze. You must enter the camp and slaughter every dwarf you see. You must be taught what it means to fear, and there's no finer lesson than absolute decimation. No survivors, even their captain, especially their captain, must die. Well, that actually happens too, J. Palmer, but generally speaking, those kind of doctors get reported and then lose their license. That does happen, though. Yeah, if they get caught in a serious way, those are criminal charges. Like, malpractice is a criminal offense. It's a gradient, but it is in the criminal track. That's not a civil suit. Kennex Cow, that's a civil suit right there. So, I actually have looked into that, Savacom. Unfortunately, you need doctors who are willing to sign up for that, basically who are on part of that program. Then they need to have slots available, and then there's usually some onboarding, and often they also require insurance on top of everything else. Which I know sounds stupid, but it's true. Yes, Trahexia. It's not a very good game. It's a very rushed, buggy game with essentially no story. But it's still fun for what it is. Especially if you're playing it co-op. If you're not playing it co-op, my recommendation goes down substantially. Okay, Kennex Cow. I'll never forgive you. And that'll lead to a criminal suit. No, imagine if not forgiving someone was a criminal offense. Oh my god. It's still loading the frickin' donation page, so I can't see what you donated, or how much, or to what, or... Load! There we go. Ahem. Aw, well, I do hope your drive tomorrow goes smoothly. Thank you very, very much. I do always appreciate you, Kennex Cow, and Merry Christmas. And if you give me a moment. Oh, I know he donated $30, Trihexia, but that doesn't really help me, does it? What it does help me is Yakuza 0, the Jack Block, and Jedi Fallen Order. DOS 2 is an amazing game. We actually have a current review of it. I believe it is currently one of the top reviewing RPGs I've ever covered. I mean, in the interest of fairness, part of my issue is medical. I really was sick. You know, dryness doesn't help. Christmas Eve, Jesse's mask. They will see the bloodshed and they will hesitate. Hesitation will make them think twice about ever attacking us again. For your next mission, I want you to travel west to the Headland and infiltrate the Stormpike training grounds. Though there are hundreds of Stormpike trainees there, one of my banshees will disguise you to look like one of the humans captured earlier. Okay.
I'm listening.
And as long as I'm by your side, the enemy will think of you as one of their own. Your newfound humanity will not allow you to be reckless. If you draw attention to yourselves, the dwarves will go suspicious and likely attack. Here, take this barrel of poisoned water and use it to sate the thirst of the tired trainees.
Beware.
Why are we evil? I've been wondering that for a while. Why are we so evil? I do hope your family dinner goes well, and I do apologize, Kennex Cow. You poor, poor people. Here, have a drink, have a drink. Have a refreshing barrel of water. Oh no. The water was tainted, I'm so sorry. Here, have a refreshing thing of water. Piss off, eh? Okay, I can't do accents right now. Dirty, stinking Wildhammer. You know these dwarves only consider you half a dwarf, right? Does it make you a gnome? What'd you say? The only one of us who resembles a gnome is you after I'm done cutting you into wee pieces. I find it funny that you find being called a gnome an insult. Merry Christmas Eve, I guess. For one and all. I was actually hoping to be doing the Plaguelands today, but then illness decided, no, screw your schedule. I was actually thinking about that. Like, I love you guys, but if I was unable to stream today, I'm just going to do the review off camera. I am tired of losing time in an already very long run just because I have trouble talking. The good news is I appear to be capable of talking for the moment, as long as I'm careful about it. when you say now, Belvedrix... Ah, okay, so during the Hellscream reign. I would say that Judo Joker was the worst thing to ever happen to the Horde, personally. Like, I'm honestly shocked. Like, sometimes the Horde is like, yeah, we're decent. And then Judo Joker set up like, all right, everyone, I want you to go murder puppies and then eat them. Eat the puppies. I'm busy, lad. Why don't you find some forsaken goo and take a bath? Well, I guess it's true then. I didn't want to believe you were a yellow-bellied snow licker, but there's no doubt about it now. What did you call me? If you guys can be riled up this easily, what the hell are the internal tensions of the Alliance right now? I'm just kidding, of course. The Alliance are all the good guys. So there couldn't possibly be anything like intrigue going on. Perfectly handled. You could have easily been a Deathstalker. What could they have done to you? You acted in self-defense.
Yes.
They won't die immediately, but they will die. And when they finally piece together who was responsible for the deaths of their soldier, you'll be long gone. A phantom.
Embrace the shadow.
Ah, guys. The last task will assault against the siege technicians of Gavin's Naze, located west of the headland. Venture to the final finger and lay waste to the dwarf and gnome engineers that build and fortify the machines of war. Be sure to plant the final pocket nuke as well. Yeah, I kind of already did that. God damn it. Nope, I gotta bow now. Mandatory. I mean, I've said it before, in the Warcraft rewrite, one of the things I might lean into is the Alliance being the more political faction. The Horde's family. I'm fine with sticking with that, right? But, like, the Alliance is an alliance. And everything that implies. That's the idea, J. Palmer, yeah. I mean, they already dipped their toes into it and then right back out of it. In Canada, actually. Which we'll see when we finally make our gnomish character, which is going to be a minute, but we'll get there some year. Like, to explain this differently, you know how in fiction a lot of political entities, polities, aren't? If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I have failed you for the last time, Admiral. Sorry. That one. Okay, so hang on. So Judo Joker is eating squirrels. Star Ocean 2R. Dragon Age 11? Did you mean Dragon Quest 11 or Dragon Age 4? And Mercenaries 2. Jesse's Mask. Ugh. Jesse's Mask is going towards Guardians Galaxy, Cocoon, and Plague Tale Requiem. And then J. Palmer's going towards Ace Combat X, Typhon, Soldier, Dark Mirror, and Halo SPV3. Thank you, Judo Joker. Once you clarify. Okay, Dragon Quest 11. Thank you, Jesse's Mask. And thank you, J. Palmer. I do always appreciate your support. Thank you. In just ignore that player. I have guilds off, right? Yep, that's actually our first guild spammer. I'm not counting, blind invites. Most people just do blind invites. Very few people do the whisper spamming. So, hang on. For double agent, remind me, because as of this exact second, Judo Joker, I don't remember.
What is it? Remember, patience.
Okay, so before we continue, let's have a moment of silence for our fallen brother Orcus. For without him, we would have been destroyed by the Stormpike onslaught. This is for you, brother. Now, do not think I forgot your part in all this. That's why you get the honors of detonating the pocket nukes. For the Horde.
Be safe.
What is this? You can defuse it, right, Magruder? Kidding me? Look at all this crap. There's a million wires here. I'm a 3-wire kind of guy. Remember, I'm Bomb Squad. If you see me running, try to catch up. I actually think they did a decent job with this, at least for Kata era stuff. They make it seem like the explosions are actually pretty decent sized. And that's the end of the battle for Alterac Valley.
Speak, friend.
With the fingers destroyed and the hand shattered, the Stormpike will have no choice but to scurry back to their cave. Or Chief Hellscream will hear about your bravery, and rest assured we will know of the Frost Wolf clan's treason.
Go forth to victory.
Treason. I think it's actually the exact same effect as Mirror. They do better with the camera angle, though. We'll get to Red Ridge when we get there. Not anytime soon. Yeah, the Frostwolves sort of left the narrative.
This had better be good.
I'm a philosopher. What that means is I am smarter than you. Now move along before I diagnose you.
Goodbye.
That imbecile finally sent help, did he? These two orcs are a lost cause. They're stricken with something that I've termed Durnhold syndrome. They're both locked up for so long they now have an affinity for their captors. Now they sit on the couch with their big iron balls and cry. Hopefully you'll prove more useful than them.
Trust no one.
Owl beasts. Soulless, feathered monstrosities sent from the darkest depths of the Twisting Nether to prey upon the weak. They surround us on all sides and they are planning an attack. I can sense it. You must stop them before they can organize. I want you, damn it, people. I want you to head into the forest and kill every owl beast you see. None should survive.
Dark Lady, watch over you.
Hello, Tagoyler. Merry Christmas, Hephaestus. And thank you very much for the sub. As usual, if you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. And thank you, Dirkrillian, very, very much. As always. I will put that towards Dealer's Choice, and the Resident Evil block. Thank you. And Merry Christmas.
I am forsaken.
The battle over Dun Garok was the bloodiest of all the Hillsbrad battles. The dwarves, outnumbered 10 to 1, fought until the bitter end. Every last one of them died in defense of that piece of land. Now I hear claims the place is haunted. No one wants to go near it. Unfortunately, I have orders to prepare Dun Garok for habitation. Do me a favor, go there and search for evidence of haunting.
Remember, patience, discipline.
We'll skip that.
Trust no one.
Alright, so that's going towards and Conqueror 1R, and Conqueror 3, and Age of Mythology R. Done. So nations not being nations, right? You thought I forgot. The easiest example of this is Star Trek, because Star Trek wouldn't know how to do politics if it came up and smacked in the face. But the idea here is that there's a lot of intrigue, interactions, legal justification, layers of bureaucracy, etc. when it comes to being a nation. Most fiction doesn't bother writing its nations as nations. I know that sounds really strange, but you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, if you just think about it for a second. You know, most of them don't operate in ways where things like legal rights or treaties or casus bellis or justifications or embassies or any of that matters. None of that's actually a thing. They pay lip service to some of this stuff, but for the most part, it's just exactly that. It's lip service, right? I'm just getting random questions in the middle of my speech here. Didn't DS9 do politics a lot? Did I like how they did politics in Arcane? I don't remember the politics of Arcane off the top of my head. What's my favorite dungeon crawler? Not applicable. I don't like dungeon crawlers. So, the reason I bring all that up is because in WoW, the overwhelming majority of the nations just operate as like a club. You know? What's the alliance? Well, it's the good guys over there who are all run by the king. Why? Well, because... Shut up, don't ask. And that's pretty much how it tends to operate. There really is no nation of Stormwind to speak of. They don't have to worry about their economy, they don't have to worry about population, or popularity, or resources, or uprisings, or anything. They're good. They're a, there's actually a term for that I can't think. I've been trying to think of it for the last minute or so. It's mono something. They're a mono something, right? And that's the problem. That's exactly what I would try to fix when it comes to a Warcraft where it is turning the Alliance into a series of nations, plural, all of whom happen to have their own intertangling alliances with each other. Because, for all intents and purposes, there is no Ironforge, right? Instead, what you have is Magni, or Moira, or... that's actually kind of it, really. Over in the Night Elves, there's no Night Elf polity. There's just Tyrande. And occasionally, the Druids, who are usually just represented as one overall unit as well, and stuff like that, right? Some games go into this stuff well. Final Fantasy Tactics. Even Final Fantasy XII actually did a pretty good job of explaining that nations are more than just one person who happens to be the face. Don't mistake me. I don't mind there being a face. In fact, it makes a lot of sense to have a face character that's like the face of a race or the face of a nation. I just want the nations to also exist. That's all. Yes, J. Palmer. Exarch Cthulhu is King of Stormwind. No, we're going to stick with that. We're going to stick with that. That's canon now. Just on the throne, there's this giant, like, cancerous mass of eyeballs. My liege, we need to discuss the annual budget for the roads and reconstruction avenues.
You got my attention.
Haunted, you could say that.
Off with you.
The spirits of my soldiers haunt this fort now. Their souls bound to this place. Even in death, they continue to fight for it. Put them out of their misery, and perhaps you shall have the spoils of your people's victory.
Be good.
And how do we put down ghosts? By killing them. What's been my favorite part of playing WoW so far? Ooh, that's actually a tough one. I think it's definitely constantly being behind at every avenue because real life keeps getting interrupted. It keeps interrupting me. Or I constantly have like people doing construction work right next door. Or I'm sick for a solid week. Or I'm dehydrated so I can't actually stream properly. Sorry, I'm just really irritated. We should probably be done with our undead character by now at this point. And instead I've got 4 zones left. I haven't even finished Hillsbrad, for God's sakes. Merry Christmas, Blade Demol. Right, I forgot to follow through with Jojo. So my actual favorite thing so far, I think that my favorite overall thing, obviously some of these zones have been very, very good. I've proven that. South Shore and Silverpine and Tirisfal, or not South Shore. South Barrens, Silverpine, and Tirisfal have all been scoring quite well and have been deserving it. If I'm being honest, being able to do the dungeons with you guys and having those dungeons actually freaking matter has probably been one of my overall favorite parts. That's also very recent, because they only fixed that last Tuesday. I think I'm going to go with that as my answer. Speaking of which, assuming my throat behaves, today we will almost assuredly be doing Charlemagne's. If anybody wants to join us for that. Alright, now let me write this down and see if Judo Joker exists. Judo Joker! Judo Joker! No, not Schoolomancy. Charlemagne's. Big difference. Big difference. I'm going to try an old 10-man raid and see how well it works. Nope. In which case, which one? Well, the only opportunity there would be Karazhan, really. Because, like, all the other ones are gone. Zul'Gurub's a dungeon. Zulamon's a dungeon. And then they stopped doing 10-mans. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Sorry. Either way, the answer is still a very firm no. Sorry, I don't think of Firelands as a 10-man any more than I think of Icecrown Citadel as a 10-man, because I forgot that they had that division. The 10-mans, for those of you wondering, were Zul'Gurub, Karazhan, and Zulamon. I just mentioned all 3 of them. Let's see, so that's going towards Mercenaries 3, Pokemon Violet, and Splinter Cell. I need Judo Joker to hop on stream.
Speak quickly.
The itching has stopped for now, but they'll return. Oh yes, they'll return.
Beware the living. Speak quickly.
They fight for their lands even after death, much like the Forsaken. I'll report to High Command that Dun Gorok is uninhabitable. Let them keep what they hold so dear.
Beware the living.
That is an interesting response from a Forsaken. God. I don't think I even know 40 people who play WoW anymore. Man, I want all three of those. Looks like I can get all three of those, though. So we just got Dire Beast, right? 20-second cooldown. Summons a powerful beast that attacks your target and roars, increasing haste by 5%. It also generates focus. I didn't notice that. Oh, of course I could, J. Palmer. Kill command has a 30% chance to summon a Dire Beast for 8 seconds. Every 3 Dire Beasts summons either Hati or Fenrir. And Dire Beast lasts an additional 2 seconds and deals 60% increased damage. We'll do that one for now, but I'm going to get all 3 of those, I think. It's a short cooldown buff, is what it really is. But it's also just kind of a little bit of additional damage on top of everything else. Hey, Act. Merry Christmas. What? Oh. Andorhal's looking a little different. We'll get to that in a second.
What would you ask of death?
Hugs. And before I move on, let me double check my notes on Hillsbrad. They're pretty much side by side, yeah. Just like South Barrens. Morning 5. Okay.
What now?
These Alliance forces walk around the Plaguelands like they own the place. Well, they don't. This land rightfully belongs to the Dark Lady. As the battle for Andorhal drew to a close, the Alliance forces occupying the Plaguelands scattered. Several of them can be found east of here, hunting foxes. Prove to them that this is Forsaken territory. Kill the hunters. Kill the hunting dogs. Kill the foxes.
Beware the living.
Yeah, plague for plague.
Hello.
Wait. I need plague grass for an experiment. Those Argent Crusaders and those infernal Cenarian Druids have been doing too good a job of healing the Plaguelands, and I can't find proper reagents within reasonable walking distance. Some of the local wildlife retain the plague's touch, however. Kill a diseased bear and then retrieve the grass that grows where its body lies. It's not optimal, but it'll do.
Remember, patience, discipline.
The city of Andorhal was in the middle of a 3-way war between the Forsaken, the Alliance, and the Scourge. Sylvanas sent one of her best Death Knights to lead the charge, but I'm sure he can use all the help he can get. With Arthas dead, now is the perfect time for the Forsaken to take Andorhal.
Beware.
Sure.
Our enemies abound.
This sounds like a fun thing. Ugh, of course, to go at it. So yeah, this is the Western Plaguelands. You can tell because it looks like this. I actually really like this, honestly. Oh yeah, I should talk about Welcome Bear. And the Infernals. So, this is a level 50 zone. And as a direct consequence of that, is one of the highest level zones of the game. It's this, Ungoro, Winter Spring, and Blasted Lands, I believe. So, this is a level 1 to 10 zone, a newbie zone. Do you see the problem? Now, when the game first came out, the West Plagues wasn't even open. And by came out, I mean in the beta. So, there was these giant infernals here who would just kill you if you came nearby. That was about as overt as it got. Do not go this way. However, obviously, when the game came out, West Plagues now existed. So you'd be like, oh, sweet, I wonder what's in here. And you'd roam in, and you'd roam in. And then right about here-ish, you'd get in combat. And you'd look around, and you would not see anything. And you'd be very confused for a second. And then after a couple of seconds, a bear would come stumbling over the hill. And you'd be like, oh, a bear. And then it would kill you in one shot. Wham! And then you would die. I should mention, back in vanilla, the nearest graveyard for here was way over here, halfway across the zone. Rogue Trader, Alan Wake, Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Thank you, as always, Dimanash. Merry Christmas. So, that was... to explain that a little bit, I think this is actually still true, it just doesn't apply anymore. But back in the day, aggro radius was dependent on your level versus their level. So, the lower level you are than the enemy, the larger their aggro radius, and the lower level they are to you, the smaller, until it gets to the point where you have to essentially get right on their face in order to aggro them, right? But that could go up really, really big, like really big, to the point where, once again, you couldn't even see the enemy that aggroed you because it would aggro you from that far away. Hence why you'd walk out here and pretty much immediately get into combat. That's the Welcome Bear. Merry Christmas, Sakage. Thank you, as always, for the sub. I'll put that towards dealer's choice. I guess I never stopped being into tabletop games, but I also haven't played tabletop games in months at this point, just as fast. Hard to find time and other people interested. So it's kind of a thing, you know. Lately, my D&D group has just been playing through Celasta, and then immediately afterwards, Baldur's Gate 3. No bet. Zavacom. No bet. So, over here. Yeah, I saw Celesta 2's coming out. I wonder if it's actually worth a damn. And yeah, I'm going to say it that way, because Celesta 1 kind of was a terrible game. Like a very, very buggy, broken, badly designed mess. It was fun, because it was terrible. And, you know, co-op. That would be cool, Jesse's Mask. I don't know how well they sold the first one. Ooh there, ooh there. So, there's a YouTube channel called Wow, It's Hard, which was recommended to me yesterday. I have no idea if the channel's good or not, but I thought I'd plug it because, well, for anybody who ever played WoW in vanilla, this might seem a little familiar. Completely true. This priest is looking at the spellbook, trying to understand, gives up on the spellbook, and just wands everything. Still true. Druid. Let's just run to this, and then run to do this, and then run to do this. Paladin. %100% true. Mage. Okay, so we just gotta keep everything slowed. Just keep everything slowed. Uh-oh, something resisted. Something resisted. Oh god, everything resisted. And we're dead. Shaman. And they're dead. Hunter. This is 100% true. Warrior. Okay, so we've killed one thing. We've sat down to eat while we wait to attack the other thing. We charge the other thing. The mobs respawn while we're punching it. And then we die. Warlock. So this one's actually going to take a little bit of explanation. So this is 5 years ago, by the way. So back in the day, when you would cast an ability on someone, whether it's a dot, a hot, a buff, attack, whatever, it wouldn't actually tag them. I know that sounds strange, but what I mean by that is like if I put a debuff on someone, then it wouldn't tag them. The only thing that tagged an enemy to your kill was doing damage. So, if a warlock put all its dots up, and then someone else did damage to it before those dots happened, they would take the tag. And I just had to share that because that is so 100% true, every single one of those. And you just wasted, yeah, a crap ton of mana doing that. That's actually one of the reasons druids were broken back in vanilla. Because they had an ability called Moonfire. And Moonfire does damage up front. And it had a huge range for a dot. So, immediate tag and good range. Tag, 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 tag. Yeah, no cooldown too. And relatively cheap. Yeah. I actually talked about tagging earlier and how tagging functionally doesn't exist in the game anymore. Can I just say I am very, very happy that tagging does not exist in this game anymore. It was never anything but a plague on the actual enjoyment of the game. Only fangs? Oh my god. That's hysterical. Yeah, tagging was stretched out back in Warlords. That's pretty much... like, that's not the end of tagging, but that's functionally the end of tagging in the game. After that, you'd only see rare occurrences or special circumstances. Nope. It was Warlords. Legion was the one that allowed you to cross faction tag. Speaking of which, you want to hear a funny thought I thought of yesterday? So, patch 2.4 over in FF14, which was the Shiva patch, for those of you who keep track, and that's during ARR, came out right about at the same time that Warlords of Draenor came out. Now, you can infer all kinds of things from that. There's plenty of amusing thoughts there, but see where Mr. And my personal favorite thought about that is, that means that the current, much improved, revamped character models are almost as old as FF14 is in its entirety. From ARR onwards.
What will you require?
It's a relief to have those hunters out of the way. We're not done killing Alliance, however. We must kill even more Alliance.
Dark Lady watch over you.
Those men who till the field are no farmers. They're soldiers. The Saurians' forces needed food, so he sent some of the Alliance north from Andorhal to tend the field. The battle for Andorhal may be over, but another battle looms. Forsaken versus human.
Victory.
Does that
for
have to be a battle? I mean, I know they're trying to kill us, but, like, do we have to kill them?
What is it?
I'm just saying.
Our time will come.
Have you seen the cauldrons at Fellstone Field? The Alliance forces at Andorhal have taken to the area, and they're using it to grow crops. I liked it better when the Scourge held the area. At least they had the sense to put a giant plague cauldron in the middle of the field. We're going to take that farm back. Take these drums and place them at key locations around the field.
Victory for Sylvanas.
Can I not do that? Can I keep it a farm? Anyways, so X says, rumors have it that Nintendo is scrambling to announce the Master Switch soon, after the recent leak. Let me go ahead and start by saying I do not believe that. Their release window and their announcement window have never, to my knowledge, changed, and the odds of them actually changing their opinion based on a leak is practically non-existent. Moving on. Because that wasn't the actual question. Why do I think companies keep such a great secret about these kind of things to begin with? Afraid of anyone else stealing their thunder? So, the answer is basically everything. Most companies have every reason to not let other companies know when they're doing certain things. Not unless they already have an absolutely dominating hold on things. Let me use an example. GTA has been quite open about when GTA 6 is coming out. That is to say Rockstar, or 2K Games if you prefer. Why? Because GTA 6 is going to destroy whatever quarter it comes out in. So they can just announce that. That's a tactic at that point, right? Hey, it's coming out, and it's coming out here. Boom. Most other companies like to hold on to those announcements so they can use them strategically, or so they can avoid that exact same kind of problem. Now, exactly, Dakota. They often get this kind of thing wrong. For example, Horizon Zero Dawn being released right alongside Breath of the Wild was probably one of the dumbest things they could have possibly done. But it is part of the tactics. Your release window is something that you have to actually put a fairly large amount of thought into. You need to consider the season, you need to consider your sales, you need to consider how long it's been since your last release, you need to consider your relative competition, blah, 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 blah. There's all kinds of things to consider there. So it makes a degree of sense to me that you keep it under the wraps until you were locked in saying, here, this is where we want to do it. Oh yeah, I wasn't even getting into the fiduciary requirements thereof, of which there are several. Did I just hear a bonk? That sounds like a bonk. Who's bonking me? Brigwin's not even here. honestly, the Forsaken... Let's just be very clear about it. The Forsaken are written to be the Scourge 2.0, and that's why they're so evil. And like, wahaha, let's replague the land. That's it. Like, that's the extent of the depth put into it. We'll get more in-depth writing for the Forsaken much later in WoW's history. Okay, this hurts. Yeah, pretty much, Act. I use Horizon Zero Dawn as the big example of how not to do a release window strategy, because it's probably one of the most obviously dumb attempts at trying to go up against something I've ever seen. Usually when you see that kind of a thing, it is deliberate sabotage. I can actually use a specific example of that. Star Trek X, which everyone knew was going to bomb, was put right up against one of the Lord of the Rings movies. I forget which one. And they did that on purpose because they knew that the movie wasn't going to do well. So you sacrifice it. That's what that's called. You sacrifice a game to that window because you still have to release a game in that quarter or a movie in that quarter. But you release it in the window where you know it will fail, so nobody has to actually think about it or consider it. It's just, yeah, okay, here you go. Here's my sacrificial lamb. Moving on.
I am forsaken. Our time will come.
What now?
Are the drums placed in positions? Very well, I will give word to the High Executor. When the time is ready, he'll be the one to press the switch.
Beware the living.
Oh, hey. Someone who's not extremely evil giving me a quest.
Thrall,
I don't like the looks of what the Forsaken are doing here at the Bulwark. Bombs, cauldrons, bloodshed. None of those embody that which the Argent Crusade stand for. Furthermore, I don't like the fact that they employ mercenaries like yourself. Nothing against you personally, it's just that you could be doing so much more for yourself. If you're interested in healing the Plaguelands rather than re-plaguing them, report to Field Agent Kartesh. Okay, yeah.
Strange.
I am actually interested in that. Actually, yeah, that's a really good example of that, Jesse's Mask. Here's Titanfall 2. We're releasing it right in between Battlefield and a new Call of Duty. What?
Good fortune.
Welcome, Hunter. As you can see, our camp is a joint expedition between the Argent Crusade and Zen Kiki, the greatest druid ever.
Dionis Aka.
No longer does the whole Scourge hold this area. We, the living, are retaking Lordaeron. We've taken great strides already, as you can already see. The earth flowers, the trees grow tall and green, and the wildlife is beginning to return. Yet a few remnants of undeath remain. While the trees and grass prosper, the animals are struggling. Something is preventing them from healing, and I intend to find out what. Bring me some samples, please.
Do not lose faith.
You wish to speak? May the eternal sun shine upon thee. Ancestors watch over you.
I am Adrene Towhide, a druid of the Cenarian Circle. You can thank us for healing this land where once there was only death. We accept all those who follow the druidic path, regardless of race, faction, or talent. Occasionally that means we enlist a druid who needs help more than others. I'd like you to meet Zen Kiki. He's pretty new, and he's still learning his craft. Would you mind taking him out with you for a while? You can practice combat of the plagued animals nearby.
Walk with the Earth Mother.
Ready to go, man. Sweet, let's do it, Zen Kiki. You are the greatest. I'm barely joking.
You got fine taste, I can tell.
Undead, I'm glad someone's here to help out. We Cenarian druids have recultivated Dawson's farm behind me. The land has flourished, and the crops have been successful, mostly. A few plants seem to be infected by the plague that ran through this land. Maybe the roots are too deep. Maybe the seeds are weak. I don't know. All I can say is I need a hunter like you to remove the bad
I run a stand-up
plants.
business here.
Well, let's do it then. Let's see. Gotta get rid of any bad eggs we can here. Oh god. I didn't mean that quite as literally. Here comes Zen Kiki. Wah. Rar. Ha ha. Leap. Rar. Plus to Zen Kiki. I'm just gonna say it. I love these guys. They're literally just zombies with corn, like, instead of an arm. We've had the corn low, I know we have corn zombies. Yeah, it's the corn Saken. Oh my god. Time for bear form. No, hit me. Over here, man. Rawr. Well, let's double check something, kitten fan. So at last check, we had 879 votes on the first poll. And right now, we have 898. So we're still getting new votes, in other words. So, as long as we're still getting new votes, I haven't even thought about when we're running it. Having said that, as usual, we'll probably run it in January, which is what we normally do. So, someone's still voting somewhere. This is one of the reasons why I allow a nice, big, month-long period for people to vote. Because unlike some game awards, I'm actually interested in people getting buy-in to the vote. Oh, you're there. Found some bad apples here. Actually, the apples are wraiths. What else would they be? They have an ability called Rotten to the Core. Oh yeah, obviously the best game of the year award goes to Elden Ring. Even though it came out in a previous year, it just deserves it that much. Let's see, if that were true, then StarCraft 2 would win every year. For the last 14 years. Speaking of which, have you voted, Blue Felix? I think time can solve any issue when it comes to game development. Emphasis on the word can. Oh yeah, there you go. The Starfield DLC. That'll be game of the year. Perfect. So, for example, I do think that them not having an extraordinarily rushed 11-year development cycle, and by 11-year I mean 11-month development cycle, could have actually improved the game substantially. In fact, I would be legitimately gobsmacked if, you know, them having proper backing would have done anything other than improve the game. However, I've been wrong before, so who knows. If nothing else, it could have helped polish up frickin' Act 3. What do you mean, Subicum? Also, good Lord, Lillian. Yeah, so this was a Scarlet Outpost. Emphasis on the word was. I do love terrible gameplay, it's true. Wait, no, the opposite of that. I think... I guess I'm just running into a wall here, Luke, because I think any idea can be done well if taken time to do it properly and having the talent to do it properly. I've said this before, I don't believe there's such a thing as a fundamentally bad story idea. Sufficiently talented and skilled people can make just about anything work, right? Now, Jesse's Mask is actually true. Or, what Jesse's Mask says is actually true. Excuse me, let me try to talk correctly here. Sure, Savacom. And then, as he finally goes to Warp 10, Tom walks onto the holodeck and is like, nah, stop, stop, stop. Wait, what was the unexpected worse, Lilith Alex? I don't remember that. Oh, that hurts. I remember the nominees. So yeah, Tom walks in and is like, stop, stop, stop. This story's going the wrong way. And Harry's like, what? I thought you'd like this story. And Tom's like, Harry, you want me to, like, break the warp barrier? Because I found special dilithium? Well, yeah. Well, it makes you feel any better, Blue Up Alex. I didn't nominate any of that crap. That's all you guys. So, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Heroes programmed on duct tape too, Kidfin. I really wish Zen Kiki would stop getting the cat form. He's got a special little scene he plays for each of the forms, and he just keeps doing cat. God dang it. I personally like his aquatic form and his Moonkin form best, the ones that haven't shown up. Yeah, how about play it seriously and straight as the horrible event that it was, Loke? There you go, boom. An evil alien has shown up and is attempting to violate Troy for its own sick curiosity. If that sounds familiar, they already did that with Nagilum. Listen, nobody actually wants magic babies. Except for writers, for some reason. I don't know. Don't ask me. The episode itself makes it extraordinarily clear why exactly it is that... The episode itself makes it very, very clear that the alien is just innocent and great, and it's so sad when he dies. He's definitely our ally and friend, and we're learning more about an alien. Isn't that so wonderful? So, no, there's no gray there at all. Oh, Nagilum. I don't know, I thought Nagilum was pretty freaking evil. He was the perfect kind of evil. He was the absence of malevolent evil. Completely detached. I have to kill 1/3 of your crew to understand the concept of death. For science. Yeah. I mean, Majora's Mask was definitely a labor of love game. Right, Lord Harriman, thank you. Yes, Eldritch Horror. I mean, you could argue he isn't malevolent. That's easy, because he isn't. There's no malice there. He doesn't care. It doesn't care. I put as my own labor of love category. Did I? I did not. I don't actually have a labor of love category. Part of the problem is I like to do my own nominations ahead of time, and then people kept suggesting new categories, and I have not had time to go back and get caught up on that. Apparently I don't have that. I do have quite a few of these already set up. Most enjoyable game to play, most frustrating game to stream. Most unexpectedly good, most unexpectedly bad. Best RPG, best platformer, best graphics, best HUD, worst HUD. Best gimmick, worst gimmick, best menu, best bug, best weapon, worst weapon. Level, boss, density, music, song, gameplay. Cast, atmosphere. Scroll down a little bit. Character, most punchable character. Game of the year, worst game of the year, best story, worst story, sushi, coffee, best cutscene, worst cutscene, most game I never heard of until it was streamed, and best new Lorium meme or concept. All of those I've already decided my own winners on. Yeah, it's for the VGAs. I'm sorry. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Wrong. Bad. That's for the LGAs. Nobody gives a crap about the VGAs. Seriously, nobody gives a crap about the VGAs. One person in the back. I don't care about it. Oh, I can't even do a Ferengi voice right now. Oh, there's the Moonkin one. He only did it for a second. He switches to Moonkin form and then spams Moonfire on himself. So I'll just tell you, my personal favorite form he'll do, because he hasn't been doing it, is he'll turn into aquatic form. On land. So he just flops around on the ground like, hey, Mon, why are you upside down, Mon? I don't understand. Poor Zen Kiki.
The Naru have not forgotten us.
This will be more than enough. I'll need some time to perform my studies.
May your days be long and your hardships few.
We are not the only ardent crusaders in the Plaguelands. Our headquarters, Hearthglen, lies to the north. Even nearer to the north is a small lumber mill, which we control. Nathaniel Dumas is my main contact at the mill. I encourage you to speak with him should you find yourself in that neck of the woods.
Good health, long life.
A kid being forced on characters because of cloning. Kid is technically a clone of the parent. I guess I don't understand the question. Like, that sounds like a really easy thing to do to turn into a good story. Like, that's got all kinds of stuff just baked right in there. Could have some concepts of identity. You know, how much is what we are based on how we're raised. All kinds of cool stuff like that. Let's do...
Ah, I've been expecting you.
Yes, Zen Kiki is having a little bit of trouble with his shapeshifting.
Winds be at your back.
Among other things, he needs to work on his spell accuracy. I can see his wrath spells spiraling out of control even from here. In fact, I use them as a marker to follow your progress through the woods. Perhaps we can use Zen Kiki another way. Take him up to the top of the hill just east. The diseased hawks circle that and must be destroyed.
Walk with the Earth Mother.
Okay.
Have a go, why don't you?
Thank you for your help. I know that picking vegetables isn't the most heroic task imaginable, but the humblest tasks have the rewards.
The only honest merchant's a Gilnean merchant.
Yeah, right. Alright, Zen Kiki, we got this. Zen Kiki? Oh, I get you. Oh, that's an interesting idea. So, like, go back to the Troy episode. And it's actually, so it's obviously a girl instead of a boy. Zen Kiki, are you coming? Did I lose Zen Kiki? I have, like, a whistle. Hey! Hey, Zen Kiki, come here.
Greetings, man. Be seeing ya.
Come here. Okay, there we go. Jeez Louise. But otherwise, that would be interesting if, like, the alien is like, I wonder how life works. Bzz, and then creates a clone of Troy. And then she's just suddenly stuck with this baby girl. So there's no pregnancy at all. There's just suddenly this baby, and it's like, now what? My favorite Proto-Drake? Ooh. Not counting the one from Dragonflight, because let's be clear, that is cheating. Zen Kiki, are you coming? I'd say it's a tie between the Iron Proto-Drake from 25-Man Old War or the or this one. I mean, yeah, Savacom. Nice aim, Zen Kiki. Keep it up. Yeah, that's the Moonkin transformation right there. Better shot of it. Thank you, Dark Day, for the sub. Merry Christmas. As always. Will write that down for Resident Evil block and Doom the Dark Age and Dealer's Choice. Just think, in a few months, we might actually start putting Dealer's Choice towards things I want to stream. As that for a while. Oh god, a 7-year-old. That's even more horrifying. I actually already have an idea for 2, shall we say, types of games I want to cover. However, I've been deliberately not choosing which one I'm going to do first yet, because that's still a few months out. And we'll see. I don't want to get too excited about something when the queue continues to grow around me.
How may I aid?
Now we're getting somewhere. How many birds did Zen Kiki end up killing? None? You killed them all yourself. Alright, I suppose we'll have to find another use for them then. I'll let you know when the time is
Winds
right.
be at your back.
I mean, this is the last of the really big blocks right here. This is the big one. Once WoW is caught up, FF14 is already caught up. So once WoW is caught up, that's it. I doubt Guild Wars 2 or ESO are going to happen anytime soon.
Light be with you.
Welcome to Northridge.
Go with honor, friend.
It's good to be back here. I've got my mill, my wife, a bouncing baby boy. I've even put my hat in with the Argent Crusade. We'll be supplying Tyrion's forces with lumber. My lumberjacks were being exceptionally productive, too, up until when the spiders came. Now they refuse to go any deeper into the woods. Maybe you can help me out. Hop onto one of my horses, use it to frighten those spiders.
For the Alliance.
Or I could just kill them.
Well met.
How is that baby staying in there? You know what? I don't even care. I'm happy for the Nathaniel. He spent so much time trying to return to Northridge, and now with the Scarlet Crusade out of the way, he can move back home. It's just, even for such a seemingly idyllic setting, it's not really the best place to raise a family. For example, along the valley's edge, you could find rabid foxes searching for innocent prey. Every once in a while, I catch them looking right at me. Please remove some of these foxes. I don't feel safe.
Be careful.
Oh, of course it is, Linearith. By sheer quantity of, well, quantity. And if you think about it, obviously this doesn't line up linearly, but once we finish Kata, we'll only be up to Stormblood, you know? Yeah, it's almost like we're finally at the point where the gameplay started actually getting good and well. Notice I say the word started getting good, by the way. That's the thing that's really funny to me the most. I've already seen a couple of people comment that, wow, so this is really good gameplay. And it's like, you gotta understand, Kata was still pretty problematic, as I've been showcasing. There's still some slog, there's still some irritation, not everything shares properly. Still plenty of negatives to give that are not abandonment negatives. Next is Pandaria. After that is Warlords, after that is Legion. That line is going to keep going up and to the right. Yeah, Kata, we already talked about this earlier. Kata is functionally a first game. That's why I say it doesn't apply linearly to FF14, because Kata is kind of ARR. It's the beginnings of FF14 getting to be good, but it's not actually when FF14 has gotten good yet. Not really. Pandaria was almost universally mocked and derided when it came out. Nowadays, it's considered one of the best expansions by most people. Most of that has to do with the circumstances of its release window, and the gargantuan gap in between Kata and Pandaria. Pandaria's launch event was also really, really bad. Worst launch event they've ever had. Yeah, I was to say, ARR was quite literally inspired by Kata. Get out of here, spiders. We don't like your kind around here.
What can I do for you?
Well, it sounds like they're certainly afraid of the Mustang, but they're not leaving for good. I can't have you running around a horse forever. Fine, bloodshed it is.
Light bless you.
This means war! Wild Arachnid Roundup. The High Lord was generous enough to lend us some of his recruits. With your horsemanship and their martial prowess, we can do away with the spider problem easily. Yes, that's right. We're about to do that quest at the very beginning of Twilight Princess where you have to wrangle sheep into the bin. Except in this case, I have to wrangle spiders into swords. That is not a joke.
Need help? Farewell. See you around.
Farther to the south, you'll find red pine knolls. A new arrival to the area. You probably passed some on your way here. Nathaniel pretends like they're not a problem, but I know better. I've seen them running away with our lumber at night. I don't know what they do with lumber. They don't even seem particularly handy, but that doesn't stop them from stealing it. Go get our lumber back.
Have a good one. Safe travels.
Also, kill them. What? Kill them. Are you sure? Kill them. All right. God, jeez. Okay. Didn't you just get the sub job, or am I misunderstanding this part? Either way, that sucks, and I'm sorry. Merry Christmas, Sar. Hang on. I'm going to jot this down. So, Dealer's Choice, RPGs, and Dead Space, 1R. You got it. If it's not obvious, by the way, Kung Fu Panda had nothing to do with Pandaria. Like, it's one of those duh things. It's the kind of thing that's so stupid to say that I feel stupid for even saying that out loud. It's like, of course it wasn't inspired by that. That's ridiculous. Yeah, WoW is going to go ahead and put out an entire expansion based on some random DreamWorks film that they saw once. Give me a break. However, I have, of course, done my due diligence on the actual math and research on that end. Turns out when you get a lot more boring and actually look into it, that, yeah, no, of course there was absolutely nothing to do with Kung Fu Panda. That's ridiculous. Why would you ever think that? It's actually physically impossible for that to be a thing, because of how development cycles work and how long they've been working on Pandaria before Kung Fu Panda was even a thing. Yeah, I'm not even going to bring up the fact that the Pandaren were actually in Warcraft 3, and long predate Kung Fu Panda ever even existing. Yeah, the Brewmaster was a freaking class in Frozen Throne. Some people tend to forget that fact. I was just chewing on that, Lunarith. Like, I like them trying to stretch out with their quest design, but yeah, this is just like, really? Of course that's cocaine answers are, and no, of course I'm not. We're doing Christmas in, like, February. See, I was going to say something, but I just realized it sounded, like, egotistical. We're adults, which means we have schedules and jobs and stuff to do. So, getting that many people together at this point in time of year, extraordinarily unlikely. So, we instead schedule it when all of us have time available. That'll be our Christmas. Okay. Yeah, that was just kind of an irritant. Is it worth a negative by itself, though? I'm thinking we'll do this. A game where I like the side quests story-wise, but gameplay-wise, no. Yeah, every RPG ever. That's a lie. But in my experience, I tend to like side quests for the story. I'm saying that wrong. I tend to like side quests and statement, but it's usually more for the story than the gameplay. To give a specific example, I suppose Dragon Age Origins would be a good one. Although I do like the gameplay of that game. And of course, I'm just completely dry and anything else here. Baldur's Gate 2? I think that qualifies. Yeah, and Planescape Torment. There you go. There's two examples. Oh, it is a ludicrously... the amount of Origins that's skippable is ludicrously huge. I think it's even bigger than 80%. It's crazy to think about. Oh, it's going to be terrible, Clone. The game's going to review so badly, and everyone's going to attack me with pitchforks. It's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Oh yeah, FF16. That's another good example.
King's Honor, friend.
Oh yeah, by the way, Final Fantasy XIV. FF14 doesn't really have gameplay in its quests, with the sole exception of the go fight a boss things, or the go play another character things. Excuse me.
Go with honor, friend.
Before you go, I have a message for you. There's someone in Hearthglen who'd like to meet you. Said he's heard your name pop up a few times. Consider yourself lucky. Not everyone gets a personal audience with High Lord Tyrion Fordring.
Light bless you.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Blitterful. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say I disagree completely that Planescape Torment would make a better book. Even though the gameplay of that game sucks, and it does, that just means the gameplay sucks, not that it should be removed. Because a lot of people tend to forget that choices are a gameplay option. That is an aspect of gameplay, not story. You deciding your path, your opinion, your preference, how you react to things, how you navigate quest arcs and story arcs, that's gameplay. It is in fact the only gameplay positives that Planescape Torment will probably receive. You lose the choices, it's not Planescape Torment anymore, not really. What, the one just labeled Torment? They really doubled down on the... whoops, hitting the wrong button. They really doubled down on the screw the combat angle. Which is fine, you know, as Jesse's Master just points out. You can have a game that has no combat and plenty of gameplay. But if I'm being honest, Torment itself always felt weaker than Planescape Torment. I actually do know what a Pelascat is. I wanted to get one for a long time, and then I found out that they're very domesticatable. Like, they don't do well in I can't remember what it's called. They need to be wild. They need to be out and in the wild. Possibly Jesse's Mask, but I'm going to keep calling it Torment if that's okay with you, because I'm not going to remember the rest of that. So anyways, Torment. The biggest thing that I didn't like about Torment is something I just realized I can't even talk about. So I'm going to move on. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. I guess I can say this. It has to do with the main villain. The main villain of Planescape Torment was fascinating, well written and interesting. The main villain of Torment was extremely badly written. To the point where he was, like, I like to use the term, you know, Saturday morning cartoon villain. This is actually like a step below that. It was really, really unpleasant.
Hey there. Be careful.
Some of the older lumberjacks tell me the Red Pine lived in this area several years ago. When the plague, they left when the plague arrived. Doesn't make it okay for them to steal, though.
Farewell.
I'll just put this back in the lumber stores outside.
Have a good one.
I don't want to order some kind of mass null genocide. I just want to feel safe in Mount Home.
Safe travels. Farewell.
Mass null genocide. You got it. No, I'm with you on that, Blow of Alex. When did FF6 come out? Yeah, no, I swear it's relevant. I'm not just, you know, oh my god, FF6. Take any opportunity to bring up FF6. Any opportunity at all. Looks like 94? Hang on. 94 in Japan. Oh, it was actually still 94 in the States, just much later. Anyways, so late 94, right, was when I discovered that RPGs can have good gameplay. And I've kind of never been back, you know? That set a bar for me. And I've never been able to be like, well, it's an RPG. Because that was the first RPG I played that had good gameplay. But it sure as hell was not the last. Admittedly, I have not reviewed FF4, so I can't actually speak to that. But from my perspective, you know, as a teenager, FF4 was a game I played for the story. FF6 was a game I played because I liked the gameplay. And the story.
You need something?
Finally, you're here! Get to work! God, my men have been sparring with these wooden practice dummies for too long. Sure, you can learn how to swing a sword by practicing with a dummy, but a real combatant requires a real combatant. I had asked for them to send me someone imposing, but I suppose a skinny-armed undead hunter will have to do.
Have a good one.
No, look, I'm not... Okay. Yeah, I didn't play 5 until... I'm not sure when, actually.
Greetings.
Because obviously I was kind of part of the RPG East and fan community of that at that point in time. But I'm not sure what year that was.
I am on.
Either way, it was definitely after 6. Pretty sure it was after 7, from my perspective. don't know. I'd have to check. Looks like the RPGE thing went live in 98, so I probably would have been a part of that in early 98, which makes sense because that was summer. So, which FF was coming out in 1998? None. 8 came out in 99, and 7 came out in 97. So it was post 7, though, I was right. So my arc went 1, 4, 6, 7, 5.
Something you doing?
Why is it a spider?
Ishnu Allah.
Good day to you.
Out of curiosity, which version of 4 did you review? Because I think that's relevant.
The dark times will
For example, I imagined that 4DS, which is the version I did the in-depth review of, I think, would score pretty well. Especially since it has better boss design than 6.
How are you?
And I'm pretty sure the Pixel Remaster would score pretty well as well. FF4 is one of those games we're going to review the original version of, quite literally just for historical sake. Because I want to see how the SNES version scores.
Can I help you?
I'm just looking at my paperwork here. It says we were expecting a female undead hunter. You're not... Never mind. It appeared that you're not the person I hired, but you did a good job, so I'm going to pay you anyway.
See you around.
I never caught your name. Swiftshot. Pleased to meet you. I've got one more problem that needs fixing, and you have a look about you that just screams, I'm a problem fixer. There's a small mine on the northern edge of Hearthglen, where most of the ore that the town needs has come from. My drudges who work the mine normally do a decent job, but apparently a larger-than-average spider has taken up residence in the cave. Could you clear things up to me? I'm not paying them to be afraid of spiders. I'm paying them to work. Dude, there's a giant spider in there. See, I was part of the community by the time FF7 came out, so it wasn't like a big shock to me. But even then, it was like, why the confusion? Why do this stupid take on things? Why not just move forward with it? Then again, a lot of people are like, we should just call it FF4. And I'm like, no, that's even worse. There, killed your giant spider. You happy? Sorry, Czar. I didn't mean to ruin everything for you.
What can I do for you?
Nice work. In retrospect, I'm glad the other undead hunter never showed up. You've proven to be all the help I can need.
Later.
You hired another undead... Okay, whatever. Perfect music for the capital headquarters of the Argent Crusade, by the way.
Only by working together can we succeed.
Uh-huh. I know you are young and still training, but I've had my eye on you. We among the Argent Crusade are always looking for promising new recruits, and you have indeed showed great promise. I have no immediate task for you, but I just wanted to meet you in person. See what kind of undead you really were. For the time being, the amenities of Hearthglen are yours to enjoy. I look forward to our next meeting.
Find the strength within you.
I do think he got a little bit on the arrogant side. I don't know if it's specifically the Ashbringer that did it, but... Well, he is very self-righteous, as is befitting a paladin of this setting. There's a reason why him putting on the helmet would have been the worst possible outcome at the end of Wrath. Like that just... yeah.
Hey there.
I've been many places in my life. Good hunter, I fought the battle for Encourage, passed through the Dark Portal into Outland, and joined the Argent Crusade to beat down the Scourge. Before it all, I was a farmer in Lordaeron, and now I find myself here in Hearthglen, a few scant miles from home. It's time I paid my respects. I'm heading to Mender's Stead before I return home. I wouldn't mind meeting up with you there once I get there.
Be careful.
Sure.
I am honored.
Greetings. How do you do? My name is Daria. I am one of the priests in charge of preserving the peace in Hearthglen. One of my duties involves maintaining the tower down the trail to southeast of Hearthglen. This particular tower is of importance to the High Lord. It's the place where his son was killed. Vanilla reference. With the recent incursion of gnolls, maintenance of the tower has grown difficult. Will you help me get rid of the trail of some of these gnoll vandals so I can do my duty?
Ashafila.
Yeah. I can do that. I can do anything. Seriously, what is this music choice? Also, a lot of Northrend cosmetic gear amongst the Argent Crusade, which makes sense. Whee. Alright, everyone. Round up. Time to die. Yeah, they also have a basic barracks. We talked about this whole thing and the political ramifications extensively during the lore run. Unfortunately, pretty much none of that's in the game itself, which is why I haven't really brought it up in the review. Okay, I thought you were joking at first, Jay Palmer, because, like, the quest literally says, this tower is of significance to him because it's where his son died. And I made a point of saying, vanilla reference. And then we get here and you say, in all caps, isn't this where Tyrion's son died? Anyways, but yeah, no, there's no, like, I like the idea of turning the Argent Crusade into a group that's starting to have to deal with politics in the wake of their success. Yes, your father's very important to you. Because, yeah, the Argent Crusade, nobody really questioned anything that they did during the events of Wrath, during the war in Northrend. Because they were the group of paladins who were actually getting stuff done, right? The only other group that was really having any level of success was the Ebon Blade. Oh, and us, of course. So nobody questioned it. And I was like, okay, now what? So they just squat on Hearthglen, which is a city. I know it doesn't look like it in gameplay, but it's a whole city in lore. And just kind of claim ownership over the whole place. And there's a lot of potential with that. Yeah, they're functionally the local lords. Like, Tyrion is acting as a noble lord right now. I must admit, I've been using my mind vision to keep tab on you, and the number of gnolls you've found on the trail is truly staggering. Sorry, I hope you don't mind if I use mind vision on you. Well, I'm going to concentrate for a second. Further down the trail, the gnolls have carved out a small meeting place. Go investigate. Okay. Yeah, no, they are functionally a city-state now. And that could lead to some interesting stuff. For example, obviously there's not really a lot of polities in this area in general other than the Forsaken. But at the same time, for all the the Forsaken are evil, if you really think about it for a second, the Forsaken would probably be very pro-Argent Crusade. No, think about it. There are very few organizations in this setting that are as anti-Scourge and as anti-Arthas as the Forsaken, but one of them is the Argent Crusade. They have, like, the biggest freaking bonding point right there. So the Forsaken would probably be like, okay, we'll let you keep that. But then the Alliance would be like, hold up. Maybe we should work together, right? We should, get some trade ties going on. Maybe turn Hearthglen into an outpost of the Alliance up north. And Tyrion's like, what are you doing? Dude, no, we're not joining the war. The Alliance is like, no, we're not asking you to join the war. Just, be a neutral port that we can sail up towards. It'll be cool. It'll be fine, And you can do a whole story arc about that. Gnolls and necromancy. What a surprise. And here I thought in the Western Plaguelands we'd put those dark days behind us. Wait, what is that? You see that? That bottle, the supplies on the ground? You see those reagents over there? And those right there? Those belong to the Argent Crusade. Gnolls are known for their thievery, but as far as I know, Hearthglen hasn't had any incursions since the Red Pine came. I know a few helpful folks in Hearthglen. Name. All of them can be trusted, all connected. See if they know anything about these supplies. Yeah, that's true. We also have the Cenarian Grove, who have... And so the Cenarian the Cenarian Circle actually has their own outpost here as well. And they are firmly not going to be joining any side of that nonsense. Yeah, the Argent Crusade are probably some of the more tolerant people towards the Forsaken, ignoring the obvious fact that they have Forsaken members in them. They also worked alongside the Ebon Blade, consistently. The Death Knights. Anyway, sorry. Just food for thought.
Greetings!
I thought this said High Clerk for just a second. I'm looking for someone who may have stolen some supplies in Hearthglen. I know a certain priest named Daria who took extra wine after last week's service, but didn't throw it out as I asked. I believe she'll be apologizing soon, though. Also, an unnormal number of confessions from one of the mages? Crisp, lisp, something like that.
Off and away!
In lore, I have no idea, J. Palmer. In gameplay, it's a buff.
Great to meet you.
Let's see, I heard Magus Bisp has been spending time cooped up on the top of his tower working on a spell or something. Heard that Delgaron was planning on retiring and heading back to the farm. Maybe I've already left, in fact. Oh, and I heard there's some undead hunter running around asking annoying questions. I'm just playing. I'm sorry. I hope that helped.
Watch your back.
See, I would think, and maybe this is just me being a weirdo, but if the hunger for violence is still a thing, which apparently it is, and I really have to affix apparently on top of that, because, it's only mentioned once in one short story, not even in the game, but if that's still a thing, then I feel like the Argents and the Ebon Blade working on curing the Ebon Blade of the eternal hunger for murder might be the kind of thing they'd be invested in doing.
Greetings.
Notice anything strange lately? Let's see. Drudges running away from the mine. Something about a spider. Jerily, a lovely new young gnome who bought an axe twice her size. And Magus Bisp asked for armor. Not sure why he'd need plate armor.
See you around.
Good morning, Ross. And good morning, Kay. Merry Christmas.
I buy and trade.
What is this, an interrogation? You're not one of Fordring's internal affair guys, are you? I got nothing to hide. Let's see. Last week I sold a ball gown to Lieutenant Minor. Magus Bisp brought several dozen leather jerkins, which he could give a reason for. And Friar Burlington came by to stock up on swimwear for a trip to Hardwinch Hideaway.
Be careful.
So you notice many names were mentioned, but only one name was mentioned more than the others. Bisp. Magus Bisp is one of the Hearthglen's most preeminent arcanists. To imagine he would be interacting with gnolls and dabbling in necromancy is unthinkable. We'll find him at the top of his tower. Hopefully he'll have an explanation for all this. If not, I wouldn't go to the top of the tower unprepared. Yeah, exactly, Magister.
Well met.
What are you doing up here, Undead? Can't you see you're interfering with official Argent Crusade business? I was just wondering if you knew something about the gnolls to the south. Someone's been giving them supplies to practice necromancy.
For the Alliance.
You'll pay for your life. What are you, a demon? Immediately, doesn't even try to question. He's just like, oh, you have found me out. I'll kill you. Yeah, sorry, buddy. You're dead. Well, I suppose we can take his aggression as a admission of guilt. You alright? So you killed a member of the Argent Crusade inside of Hearthglen. Usually that's not smiled on, even in self-defense. I recommend coming back and turning yourself in. Hopefully Fordring will hear you out and be sympathetic towards your situation. I hope I haven't gotten you in any trouble. Well, alright. Let's go talk to Tyrion. Of course, I have a feeling we know what Tyrion's reaction is going to be.
We shall triumph!
I am already aware of your actions. I welcome you into my town, give you my blessing, and what do? You slay the traitor we've been hunting down for weeks. Well done. Your heroism is budding much earlier than I anticipated. Thanks?
Courage is our greatest weapon.
Unfortunately, and I do think this is I don't know if it's a negative, but, like, the story just stops here. Like, this is interesting, but that's it. It's done. We're done. There's nothing else in Hearthglen. Like, but... Please? No? Okay. And that's it. Enjoy that. The next time we'll see Tyrion will be in Legion. In fact, you know what? I'm going to argue for a story negative for that, because it's a nothing burger ending, right? Like, there's so many unfinished questions, and they could have followed through with Tyrion, and like, huh? No, I like that too, Blue Off Alex, but like, and then there should be some follow-through, right? And yeah, Tyrion's not exactly a small-scale character, too. They just bring him in to be like, hey, remember him? Okay. Yeah, like, I should also mention, see you around, Kennex Cow. Have a good day at work. Considering what's going on in Andorhal, which I know I've been kind of skipping over, but there's some stuff going on in Andorhal right now. It would be very easy to tie in that story arc we just did into that, right? To discuss the significance of Gandling and him spreading his influence for the north, and that having an impact on the Argents, and leading towards the situation in Andorhal, and instead it's just like, we're done. Alright, yeah, have the story continue in East Plagues. There's only really 2 story arcs in the East Plagues. One is a day in the life with the caravan, and the other is the Argent Crusade, so, you know. Anyways.
Greetings.
It appear I arrived before you. Field Agent Kartesh gave me the details about my old home. Seems my battles with the Scourge aren't quite over yet.
Have a good one.
It's funny the things you remember. I spent 16 hours a day working the field, and every 7th day I'd head into bustling Andorhal to sell what I'd grown. It was a tough life, but we did alright. But I barely remember any of that. When I think of those days, I think of Gloria's smile or Andrea waving from the window when I'd look up from the plow. Farm's just a bit to the east, but I'm sure I'm ready to go back. I'd like to hold on to these memories a little while longer.
Be careful.
I know, I don't know how we managed to work that little, Magister.
Arcanon Poros.
My analysis is complete. The blight that affects the animals here is no residual disease. It is something new. And I think I know what it is. The Cult of the Dam maintains a plague cauldron on the farm called Garen's Withering. This farm is due southeast of us, close to where the eastern Plaguelands begin. I need a sample to verify my suspicion.
Remain vigilant.
Monsieur Red, I will consume your light, is what the boss just said there. I just felt like sharing that. Alright. There's a small spigot that fits under, allowing you to draw a sample for the field. Sweet. Nope, they are not shorthand for anything at all, J. Palmer. Those are there for organizational purposes to help me keep track of things. You might as well pretend they don't exist, because they technically don't. Dealer's choice it is. Enjoy the food coma, Yella. And thank you for the sub, as always. Merry Christmas. Please enjoy to the best of your ability. So that was a finger painting, a cherished painting by his daughter. Oh, okay, I don't know if I can take that right now. And a prayer book. It's well worn. What the? Oh, hey, it's Hati.
What can I do for you?
I wouldn't expect you to indulge the whims of a nostalgic old man. Still, if you find yourself in the area.
For the Alliance.
Gloria used to read from this prayer book every night. Okay. I'm gonna not read any of that out loud.
See you later.
Let's go with that.
Chronokai Christor. Blessings upon
Good work. One moment, please. He takes a moment to compare your sample. Yes. This appears to be the same corruption that is affecting the wildlife. With this knowledge and your combat expertise, we may have the power to stop this.
Remember the lessons of the past.
The Cult of the Dam maintains a small camp to the east, militia outpost, which they use for field training outside of Shalomans. We may have allowed them to proceed unchecked in this training for too long. If cultists are truly using this plague to inoculate the wildlife, the militia will be where the inoculation is occurring.
Good health, long life.
The winds guide.
While you've been away, I've been trying a different approach on our friend Zen Kiki. I believe he may have a future as a healer. This is mainly because healing spells cannot miss. I hear from Field Agent Kartash that the plague cult camp to the east is where the plagued animals are coming from. I hope you don't mind escorting Zen Kiki over there. Maybe he can help heal some of the plagued animals.
Ancestors watch over you.
Hey, PM Triox. Merry Christmas. Bleh. And yeah, as a fresh reminder, most members of the Cult of the Dam are living. Of course they are. Let's see. Paperwork. The Order's militia has in her possession incriminate Dark Master Gandling of Shalomans, but they also conceal another important bit of information. Cult orders state that the plague from the cauldron at Garen's Ruling is in fact being used for two purposes. The first is the practice of spreading plague disease to the animals of the Plaguelands, but you already knew about that. The remainder of the plague is being shipped to the Weeping Cavern, a cave north of here, used in some dark experiments. Students of Shalomance are using this plague to reanimate the dead. They must be stopped. What are you doing? We're gonna kill you. No, you're not. Do you not see the army of beasts I have at my command? Oh my god, Zen Kiki. He did it. He finally did it. I wasn't even next to him. God damn you, Zen Kiki. Ah. You bastard. Here's an odd question. What do you think your average, everyday Cult of the Damned person is doing right now? I'm sorry, I'm phrasing that question wrong. What I mean is, like, why? Why are they staying loyal to an individual who doesn't exist and a polity which does not exist? I mean, maybe they're insane, but that was always the Twilight's Hammer's bag, you know? See, what I was thinking is it makes sense for some of the leadership of the Scourge to keep going, because that's the fiefdom thing, right? That's just warlords at that point. But, like, why do then the individual members of the Cult of the Damned specifically stay loyal? Although that's actually a valid point. Also worth noting that nothing really, like, they don't know. They don't know if the Lich King's gone. They don't know the Scourge is gone. Darkmaster Gandling, he's just, you know, he keeps saying, hey, you know, the Lich King speaks through me. It's cool. This is gonna be a thing. I mean, I suppose, given the events of this year in real life in many countries in this world, I suppose I'm expecting too much of people. So I will withdraw the question. I guess my overall complaint isn't with, like, X-Scourge staying Scourge, but, like, the Cult of the Damned was always a unique little puzzle piece there. They were sleeper agents. They were people who legitimately felt injured or screwed over or whatever. And they were true believers, right? Especially because they saw just how bad things got in the wake of the Second War. So, it makes sense that they would be very loyal to the Scourge for a huge portion of its existence. But when the Scourge goes away, there's nothing to be loyal to there anymore. There's nothing to believe in. There's no cause there. I don't know. Food for thought, I suppose. No, I know the feeling, Bo of Alex. You know, that's valid. It was already mentioned that some caused fallacy might be involved.
What brings you here? May the eternal sun
Oh, he's done it. Thank you. I admit I'd nearly given up hope on Zen Kiki. It's only due to your patience and diligence he's come into his own as a druid and a member of the Cenarian Circle. It's without even mentioning the good you do for nature. You have some admiration and respect.
Walk with the
Thanks.
The Naru have not forgotten
We've
us.
gone above and beyond. Not only have we set back the cult of the damned in their crusade to re-plague the Plaguelands, we've even uncovered another set of dire plans. They continue to reanimate the dead. Your name will definitely be... Oh my god, look at Zen Kiki. He's an ant now because he's a healer. Oh my god. Your name will definitely be mentioned when this information is presented to Lord Horde. Yeah, he and I were tight.
Blessings upon your
He said,
family.
hey, thanks for killing that guy that one time. And that's it. Oh, God, that hurts. Okay, Okay, let's do the battle for Andorhal, shall we? On the Horde, so everything looks like this, of course. Remember, evil.
I am forsaken.
Arash the Summoner is bolstering the Scourge defenses with simple skeletons. An army of weaklings that will overwhelm you before it overpowers you. He's assembled animi within Andorhal's northern towers that spew these out at an alarming rate. But I've got a solution. It's a grenade.
Trust no one.
That's not a joke, it's just straight up a grenade.
You need only ask. Death alone cannot stop us.
Darkmaster Gandling of the Cult of the Damned leads the Scourge offensive here in Andorhal. Another living person, by the way. My old counterpart, Thessarian, leads the Alliance forces. If we're to win Andorhal, we'll have to defeat both, but we will certainly fail if we take on both at once. I know Thessarian well enough to know he will focus on the Scourge first. We will do the same. Take out the weaker desiccated Scourge, reduce their numbers. The Alliance will have to wait.
We have died so that others may live.
No, that's also true, Cloden. It's entirely possible that each individual cult sect is run by one would-be warlord, right? Who just isn't allowing them to hear information from anyone else. Now, I know Zen Kiki shows up in the Molten Front. He is also, I forgot that, he's in Legion. He has a good scene in Legion. And Milk. Merry Christmas. Oh, nice. He's also in Dragonflight. I didn't know that either.
And you are...
You fools will never defeat the Scourge with those abominations running around. Kultira blathers on about reducing their numbers, but the Scourge's best weapon here in Andorhal can be found on those lumbering brutes. I won't have it. Enter the battlefield and destroy those monsters.
Embrace the shadow.
Sure thing, Lindsay Raven's son. Whatever you say. Okay, that's a couple. Yep. Okay. Just need to get far enough in. Yep. Yeah. Got it. Jesus. I am well aware of that. If you looked at the timestamp, you'll notice that's actually a really old video. It's actually based on a book, which is even older, which, unfortunately, I have, in fact, read. Yes, J. Palmer. I can't stream games full screen. Or I guess I should say I don't. So yeah, of course I got it window mode. Why do you ask? How did I do it? I don't know. Well, see, there's the interesting thing about that, Earth. I would be different if I took over the world. I would fail. That's why I haven't tried. It's actually why I gave up on politics, if you've ever seen me talk about that. The problem is, it is not possible to change the system from within the system. The system requires an outside of context problem in order to affect any real substantial change. Without that, all you are is another person within said system. Here's a direct example. Bernie Sanders is, by all accounts, a pretty decent dude who's got his head screwed on straight. You know, he is someone who is and has been for literal decades been trying to push for reform and change in the government. How much has he succeeded? How much real change has he pushed forwards? I wouldn't say zero. That's being too harsh. But certainly not as much as he's trying for. He has, thanks to just basic seniority, managed to get on quite a few committees over the years and affect smaller scale change. I will also agree he's been serving as something of a barrier for things getting even worse. Yeah, I was going to mention AOC as well, in pretty much the exact same measure. One of the things I found funniest is this year, Bernie Sanders was up for re-election. And someone actually ran against him by basically saying, he's old and out of date and stupid and dumb, you should vote for me instead. And I'm barely exaggerating, that was pretty much the campaign that the other guy ran. I'm not even going to tell you his name, because it doesn't matter. He lost. Three more, looks like. I'm not sure, Lord Hermon. I haven't checked. Hey, Ludifairy. I'm getting there. A lot of pain, but at least I'm not coughing every, minute or so.
I shall serve.
You may not act quickly, but at least you don't fail me. I will stab you, Gultira.
We do what the living...
Or strip you of your free will to make you serve me, one of the two.
I haven't got all...
With the behemoths out of the way, our victory is inevitable. Our current chances against the Alliance aren't quite as favorable, but that's no concern of yours. Not yet, anyways.
Trust no one.
Yeah, no, Sanders has also been smart about one thing. He knows he has a box. And people pay attention to him. And as a direct consequence of that, he knows that if he clamors and makes noise about something, people will listen to it. Sanders, pay attention to the stuff he's been bringing to people's attention over the last 30 years. And you will see that almost every time he has dragged a spotlight over something, people have become more aware of the fact that that particular thing is an issue in government. And you'll notice the thing he is hammering on right now is just how much influence, direct influence, Elon Musk is pushing into the government. And more people are becoming aware of that, right? So, is that a direct personal change to fix the government? Not really. Is it something that's helping? I would argue it is.
I'm listening.
These grenades are all explosive, nothing more. Even as a member of the Royal Apothecary Society, I recognize some problems are not solved by throwing more plague at them.
Goodbye.
With the Animus destroyed, the next logical step is to take out Arash himself, and to take a shard of his phylactery. You've probably already seen him lurking at the fountain in the center of town. Take my grenades with you. This used to be a group quest, but nowadays it's more of a vehicle quest.
Discipline.
What is your desire? Death alone cannot stop us.
The Shalomance is one of the few Scourge holdouts remaining west of Thondaril. Headmaster of the Shalomance, a cultist by the name of Darkmaster Gandling, has made an appearance on the battlefield. This will be his final mistake. You will find Gandling in a square near the southern end of town. I want you to join the fight and weaken him. I will join you to finish him off.
We have died so that others may live.
Gandling has brought his lieutenant, the Ravinian, with him. This lumbering brute is far more dangerous than any of the other scourge you'll find on the battlefield, even abominations. You'll find him in a tower south of town. I recommend caution.
We do what the living cannot.
Yeah, dire zombies. Actually, I believe the very first dire thing we ever had in the game, technically. Because they go back to launch with Strathold. Whereas dire trolls didn't show up until Zul'Gurub, which came out in a patch. Don't mind me and my beast army here. Whoops. I aggroed him a second time. Didn't mean to. Alright, Araj. Let's do it. Thanks. Prepare to die, Monsieur Red. Enough of this. The Cult of the Damned doesn't need Andorhal. This worthless city is yours to fight over. Kultira, I'd heard rumors you were here in Lordaeron. You heard correctly. I wanted to give you a chance to kill me again. It looks like it may come to that. Yes, it may, but not today. With the Scourge out of the way, I plan to pull my troops back and regroup. I see. Then I will do the same. You must be aware, we are brothers no longer. You are a member of the Horde, and I of the Alliance. Eventually, we will fight this battle for Andorhal, and only one of us can walk away from this battlefield victorious. Yes, I know, and don't think I'll go easy on you. Very well. I look forward to it. Thank you, King Venomui. Happy holidays. I do hope you're enjoying yourself as much as you can be. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, Kultira also then says you are to speak of no one about the agreement that was made today. Consider that an order from your direct superior. King Venomui. And as a reminder, if you want to put that towards up to 3 future streams, please let me know.
I shall serve. We have died.
Araj is a formidable opponent. Be warned.
We do what the living
Araj dead. This is good. The Royal Apothecary Society has done its part, as have you.
Death alone cannot stop us.
Dragon Quest 11. FF7R1, FF7R2. I've always assumed that they were just trying to recapture some aspect of a life. We'll actually see this extremely briefly in Pandaria as well, where there's a Dwarf Death Knight who ends up joining up with the Alliance forces. Shrug. I do think this is a tiny bit out of character, but not enough that I think it's negative worthy. If anything, what this feels like is them, doing one of those I need to find myself kind of discovery quests, realizing that this isn't for them, and bailing on it. And I'll talk about that again in just a few minutes.
We do what the living cannot.
Yeah, get crap done. Sorry.
Death alone cannot stop us. We have died so that others may live.
The Forsaken are victorious and our forces are strong. Military strategy dictates we attack the Alliance now while they're recovering and unaware. I have other plans, however. We will wait. We attack the Saren and his troops when the time is right. In the meantime, speak with Ronda Mulver and take a flight to the Bulwark.
Death alone cannot stop us.
Okay. Now, we were technically supposed to do all that stuff before we did some of the other quests we've already done. The flow of West Plagues is actually kind of strange, but they give you a lot of flight paths and other stuff to kind of speed it along. East Plagues is interesting in that route too, but we'll talk about that after the lunch break.
What is it?
Our victories are quickly piling up. The Scarlet Crusade, which has long persecuted the Forsaken, is on its last legs. Well, they still hold the monastery. No, they don't. They no longer occupy Hearthglen or Tyr's Hand. As recently as last week, there have been reports of Scarlet activity at a small camp, but I have reason to believe they've been eliminated. Travel there and verify this for me.
Embrace the shadow.
Remember, this is the guy that personally spoke to Lillian when she was coming through here as part of her quest in the Tirisfal Glades. Hence the I have reason to believe that they're dead. So yeah, remember this place? Yep. They are extremely dead. Uh-oh. I don't know if I can withstand this. My sister.
Oh, brother.
What's going on?
Hello, stream. We're getting ready to head out.
Okay. Oh, whoa. What is?
Cookie.
No, but what is?
Cookie. That matches your shirt.
That's true. See, you can't even see it. It's gone now. So you want to hear something funny?
What?
You probably didn't hear, and that's probably a good thing. But yesterday I was having an extremely bad cough.
Mm-hmm.
Like coughing every minute.
Mm-hmm.
Bad cough. If you look to your right, you'll probably figure out what the solution was.
Yeah, dry air. It's because you have had the heater on.
Yeah, that's why I got that to verify it. Well, I'm skipping like 15 steps of this story, but either way, that's why that's there. Alright, hang on. Salvacom says Merry Christmas.
What?
Salvacom says Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Salvacom. This time of year, that is a generic greeting.
What is?
Merry Christmas.
Oh.
It means hello.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Oh my god, there's two of them. Why are there two of them?
Because there were 3 that wouldn't fit in the box.
I can't identify the flavor. Don't tell me.
We'll take another bite.
It's really mild, in a good way.
They're always really mild. I don't make them strong flavored.
You should see her rose cookies. Those are really, really good. No, I don't mean rose shaped. They taste like rose.
Rose flavored cookies. And anytime you're doing rose or lavender or any of those floral flavors, they have to be mild. Otherwise they taste like soap. Have you figured it out yet?
No, I don't have enough in my nose to smell. I'm sorry.
Well, the color is a clue.
Okay, so it's probably pumpkin then, based just on that. If it's not pumpkin, then it's sweet potato, because I noticed the sweet potatoes weren't there.
No, they've been moved over to the peninsula because I needed them to...
Damn. So it's not pumpkin, it's not sweet potato.
You're overthinking it.
What's orange? Help me out, everyone. What's orange flavored? Grapefruit. Ginger snap. Perfect. And, ow. Are they ginger snap cookies?
No.
Aw, I was so close,
My
too.
ginger snap cookies taste like ginger snap.
They do. I've had your ginger snaps.
Yeah. They taste very strongly of ginger. No, these are orange flavored.
Wow, I did not know my nose was that far gone. I can't smell anything.
I can't smell anything either.
Oh my god. Oh, thank you, sis.
You're welcome. The color is a clue. Pumpkin.
Yes. What? They're pumpkin cookie. It's like fall-ish.
Yeah.
It's close to fall.
You know what's funny is I almost made pumpkin spice cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would have been good.
Yeah.
When are you guys getting back-ish? Do you know?
I love how Dustcat's very first snap ever.
Chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very first chat ever is
Yep.
Ginger Snap.
Yep. Let's see.
This is why I exist in your show.
It's true.
Because I make viewers who like to stay hidden.
Yep. Yep. You're the lurker fishing rod. That's
I clearly am.
I can't talk, but you get the idea.
Uh-huh. That one.
Barbed shot reduces cooldown of Bestial Wrath. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll probably also get that one. Barbed shot also reduces cooldown of Kill Command. I'm really liking Beast. Have you played Beast lately?
Beast is actually not in a great place.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. I enjoy it because I can play it with like, I only need half the buttons. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Don't worry about it, Czar. Don't worry about it. Lurker bait. That's it. That doesn't sound very complimenting. How about Lurker lure? Lurker management.
Siren.
Lurker siren.
Yeah. As in the mythical creature siren.
Yeah, yeah.
Not.
I knew it. Attention, all lurkers.
Czar, the question was, what flavor are the cookies? The hint was the color.
Yeah, that's why they're pumpkin.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummles, like you.
Yeah, you can make pretty good money selling the BOEs.
I don't think any of these are BOEs, but I know.
Like, even the white ones. And the gray ones. And the crafting reagents.
I do save crafting reagent stuff.
Farewell, friend of the Grummles.
Yes, Czar. Czar is very close.
Mandarin.
Mandarin is a type of orange.
That's true. What? Fellstone is cleared and the bombs are set. I hope you're ready. I recommend covering your ears. 3, 2, 1.
Watch your back.
Okay, now that Fellstone is ours, we can use its acreage and any dead bodies we find for our own purposes. I've received orders from higher up. You're going to help the process. You may have met Lindsay Ravenson. I've never met her before, but she seems to have friends in high places because she's taken over the operation there.
Farewell.
Okay.
Oh, I have these. Anyway, we're headed out soon.
Yep.
I'm breaking in new shoes with my cute pants.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
They're like 3-inch heels,
They are solid heels, yeah.
and my pants are still too long.
Are you going to ever hem them?
No, I think so.
Okay.
Someday, I might have 6-inch
Moon shoes.
disco?
Oh, yeah, disco shoes. Platforms. I think. Right? Those are called platform shoes, right?
Yes, because they are tall in both the toe and heel.
They are. How am I an obnoxious seller of BOEs, Magister? I always put BOEs off to the side to toss on the auction house.
I'm an seller of BOEs.
Unless she's the one
And
that
I
does it.
only sell them. I only sell them if they cost like 1 gold or less, and I only sell them for between 5 and 9 gold.
Yeah.
Like, I'll sell them for less than 5, but most of them I sell for 5 and 9. So I'm not as obnoxious as the people that you see that post 29 silver white BOE for 139 gold.
Yeah.
My transmog that I'm selling is affordable. But I do sell them. And I make decent money at it, too.
Oh. That's great. Oh, well, have fun then.
Yep. Don't forget to eat.
I think I'll have one of those today. Hot, spicy soup. I mean, there's ramen involved, but, you know, you get the idea.
And feel free to, if you're still experiencing coughing issues, use the throat coat.
I need to remember where that is. I think I saw where you put it in. I can just find it.
It's in the brown bag with all the other brown bags. It's all throat coat.
Oh, it's labeled?
They're all labeled.
Okay. Well, what I meant by that is I thought throat coat was your name for it.
Yep. It's their name.
Okay. So what is my assessment of the Forsaken's actions in the West Plagues? I mean, obviously they're evil, but... I don't know. This is kind of an interesting gray area. Like, their actions in Silverpine are pretty bad, and their actions in Hillsbride are arguably worse. Like, but when we get up to West Plagues, you're right in that it's not completely mwahaha. Let's just go murder everyone and torture puppies for fun. Like, I'm sure you've noticed that, right? We're past that point. But, interestingly enough, I think they're actually getting worse in a couple of specific ways, but I want to explain why yet. So let's just get this quest first.
Hello? Do not seek...
Darrington and his men don't know it, but it was I who ordered the plaguing of Fellstone Field. We need this area for practice. If we're to win this war for Andorhal, we need to use our newest and most versatile weapon, Valkyr. Take my Valkyr with you and kill the simpering Alliance scum. Once they're dead, she'll bring them back to the world as one of us.
Dark Lady, watch over you.
Okay. And I said that very specifically when I said that very specifically. So, I would still argue, as absolutely pathetic as it sounds, that what we're doing here is less evil than what we did in the previous 2 zones. But we've reached the point where we have now plagued these people, and are now murdering them in order to recruit them. There's no joke there, that's just what we're doing. Yeah, no, this is just... I don't even have words. It's so self-apparent how awful this is that I don't know how to put it. A necromancer running around killing people to recruit them is kind of like the definition of evil necromancy. And yeah, free will is a whole cultural thing for the Forsaken. I'm able to communicate with you through the Valkyr. You have done well. Remain on the field. We must now teach these newly converted Forsaken how to fight. A Valkyr's only purpose is to serve, and this one serves you. I'm giving you full control of her abilities. Roaming around the outskirts, you should find several Forsaken you've just created. I want you to gather at least 5 of them. Then bring them to the barn and kill the beasts inside. Today they will learn what it means to fight for the Dark Lady. Yeah, we're just straight up press ganging here. That is what we are doing. But also murdering them at the same time. Because, you know, I don't know what to add to that, like I said. Game? This is interesting. There we go. Okay, I see what's happening. That's funny. Are you gonna play it through it, Dakota? Because, yeah, Saturn? Jesus. Now, if you've been paying any kind of attention, you'll notice that a lot of the individual Forsaken quests have been getting less evil. We even saw that back in Hillsbrad, for example. Remember the guy who said, let the dwarves keep their land. They've earned it. He even made a line where it was like, you know, they're fighting for something they love even after they died, just like we are. He doesn't actually have to say that he respects them. He's just like, okay. Little touches like that, right? Just remember that. When Kultira gives his word, I will bring these Valkyr into Andorhal, and we will win. And yet another piece of Lordorn will fall to the might of the Forsaken.
Goodbye.
I have no further training for you. Continue east. You'll be summoned when the battle for Andorhal commences. Hopefully Kultira will not wait too long. Is there a Saturn emulator, Blue Felix? I legitimately don't know. I've never really poked at it.
Yes.
Word is in from Andorhal. The battle resumed. It's been somewhat well known amongst the Forsaken. You're a hero of the first battle of Andorhal. Kultira has requested your presence immediately.
We will ravage this land.
I mean, considering what a mess the Saturn was, it makes sense that it would be trouble getting an emulator working for it. I mean, I still have issues with my N64. Oh no! The Alliance are attacking.
What is your desire?
The Sarian and the humans made their move. Thought I had an agreement, but I suppose this will do.
We do what the living cannot.
The battle started when they attacked us from the rear. I let my guard down, and a group of poorly armed farmers and militiamen swung our flank. They may be weak, but unchecked they threatened to overwhelm us with their numbers. Lindsay's pet abomination can handle the melee. You take this collar and use it to release the gargoyles on the farmers.
We have died so that others may live.
To the west, deep within Alliance-held Andorhal, you'll find their commanders. They do not fight, but call out orders on horseback. Hunt down and slay them. The humans won't stand a chance.
Death alone cannot stop us.
I know what you're thinking. What's this quest like on the Alliance? Well, they're like, oh my god, someone started the battle early and without my consent. How strange.
Hello.
Well, it's true these farmers threaten us. We cannot forget about the Alliance's main force.
Victory for
Go kill Alliance. Scum. Yep, the Minutemen. There's a new settlement on your map. Here, let me mark it for you. I don't have a pet. There we go. I was thinking about going ahead and doing all these quests on the Alliance side, but the problem is they're pretty much the exact same quests. They show no real new story. You have to do the entire zone again to progress the quests. But no, this is all one story, just like the Southern Barons. Doing both sides gives you a little bit more insight into what's going on overall. Also, I forgot about that. Canonically, this is also when both the Horde and Alliance agree to kill Chromie. Yeah, the many deaths of Chromie. This is when that happens. Or rather, this is when that sliver of that happens. I actually did a pretty good job of that story. It was very challenging. Like, it was really mean. It was exactly the kind of thing I enjoyed. It was essentially another variant of the Mage Tower concept. It's like a combination speedrun challenge mode thing. I don't know if it's still there. Anyways, sorry, I just realized I didn't answer you, Linear. I apologize. Probably wondering, who the hell formed this random militia to go attack them? They did. The militiamen did. There's a quest, I was actually just double-checking it to verify, but yeah, there's a quest where we see on the other side, Thessarian is content to just let the stalemate drag out and, you know, delay the issue, kick the issue down the line, and a whole lot of the militiamen, the farmers, are like, we need to retake our land, let's go, and they attack early, without permission or assent. So when you get the Thessarian, he's like, I don't know what's going on. They've decided to do a sneak attack. We need to go deal with this as quickly as possible. Yeah, the farmers then, of course, get massacred because they're militia. And this is as close to the front lines as the Forsaken get without being in Gilneas. So.
Speak quickly. Dark Lady, watch you.
You need only ask.
Merely a dent in their numbers, but the sight of their fellow men falling from the skies surely weakens their resolve.
We do what the living...
With them out of the way, I have no more excuses. Soon I must battle Thessarian, for honor and for Andorhal.
We have died.
I was informed that worthless woman Lindsay Ravenson would be here to support me, but so far she's done nothing but brood. All the better, I suppose. She was a bit of a distraction. Still, I cannot stand her insubordination. Find her and bring her to me.
We do what the living cannot.
Right.
I'm listening.
You won't be taking me anywhere. While Kultira prances about with his playmate, I plan to win the battle. Then I will make Kultira suffer for his weakness. Don't believe me? Fine. I'll let you in on a little secret.
Do not seek death. What joy is there in this curse?
You have no idea how difficult it was to stay disguised while I let Kultira let the war slip away from us. Even now those infernal farmers threaten to overwhelm us. All because he refused to slay a friend. Take my Valkyr. With her by your side, kill the farmers, convert them and mobilize them. Then take a group into the Alliance area and hunt down the Death Knight. So, if you're paying attention earlier, I was actually being specific with my word choice. A decent number of quests, even in Hillsbrad, were showing how the Forsaken are not actually that horrible. I don't want to paint them as good, you know, candy-flinging, bunny-hugging people. But they were definitely a much lighter shade of grade than a lot of what we've been seeing prior to now. Then we get to West Plagues, and all of a sudden it's like, kill, kill, kill. But if you pay attention, every Mwahaha quest is given to us by her. And yeah, she was Sylvanas the entire time. I admittedly called this pretty early on, because if nothing else, there is no way in hell that Sylvanas would allow anyone else to ever control her Valkyr. They're her one-ups, remember. She would never let those outside of her sight. So, it had to be her, pretty much by logical default. And thank you, Sakage. As usual, you can put their judge up to 3 things, if you want to. I appreciate you either way, though. Now, here's where things get interesting. Again, I don't want to whitewash the Forsaken. Yeah, no, absolutely, is Roostar. But pound for pound, if you look at the quests of what we do in, say, Silverpine, there are 3 dominant quest givers that make us do the most horrible stuff. Sylvanas, the Forces of Hellscream, and Crowley. Think about that for a second. It isn't until we get to Hillsbrad that we start to see, you know, people who are not, shall we say, Sylvanas loyalists. And lo and behold, in Hillsbrad we start to see people who are not horrible. Even the Banshee lady, who gave us the quest to infiltrate and deal with the oncoming attack force, was just doing standard psyops, or not psyops, wet ops kind of stuff, right? Like, there is a superior army attacking us, go infiltrate it and break it down, is not that horrible, right? Compare and contrast, go nuke South Shore into the ground, which we know was an action that Sylvanas herself ordered. You get my point, right? I think it was accidental, if I'm being completely honest. But even here in Kata, if you pay attention to how things line up, it's pretty clear that Sylvanas is the problem with the Forsaken, not the Forsaken as a whole. This is the body of Lurid, Thessarian's trusted knight. You're just, okay. With Thessarian nowhere to be found, it would seem the Alliance forces have withdrawn. The Forsaken have won the battle for Andorhal. Sylvanas will want to know about Thessarian's departure. Fun fact, this quest still goes this way on the Alliance. As in, you lose the battle for Andorhal on the Alliance. There's one big difference, though. On the Horde, when the battle's over...
We are the Forsaken. We will slaughter anyone who stands in our way.
Now this is how you win a war. Someone ought to teach that Death Knight some military strategy. Your performance was admirable. You make the Forsaken proud. Which is more than I can say for our general. I intend to have a word with him. No, the jailer wasn't invented at this point in time. Your Highness, I deliver to you Andorhal. Enough of this insolence. Do you think I'm blind to everything that goes on outside of the Undercity? Your Majesty, we were victorious. No thanks to you. Andorhal should have been ours days ago when we defeated the Scourge. I know your secret, Kultira. I'm aware of your friendship with the Alliance Death Knight, Thessarian. Your Majesty. Arthas clearly failed when he created his Death Knights. You're still weak. Fortunately, I have agents that can help you erase this weakness. Beneath the Undercity you go. Quiet, Death Knight. When I'm finished with you, your fear will be gone. You can thank me later.
What are we, if not slaves to this torment?
I have nothing against the Knights of the Ebon Blade, but Kultira needs to be reminded who he works for now. His loyalty must lie with the Horde, or more specifically, with the Forsaken. I wouldn't plan on seeing Kultira anytime soon. Now that I have him, you can rest assured any bonds he may have had with that Alliance scum will be thoroughly broken. We will see Kultira again in Legion. So, even all the way back here in Kata, some of the writers were still making a clear divide between, you know, Sylvanas and the worst aspects of the Forsaken and the rest of the Forsaken. Everything she just did is so horrifying that I honestly believe that some people would, amongst the Forsaken would rise up against her immediately. Yes, they did, Linarith, for the Death Knight chain, specifically. I'm not even joking. What she is doing is in direct violation of the biggest thing the Forsaken care about as a people. Yeah. And that. Oh, I know, Esmira Star. Cult of personality is a thing in real life, not just in game. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm trying to find the specific quest. One moment. Because I want to read something for you. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Alas, Andorhal. Head to the south, to Chillwind Camp. Tell Commander Ashlam Valerfist everything that happened here. This is Thessarian. Thessarian actually has a quest for you when you lose. And he bails. He decides to no longer join the Alliance. Instead, he says, I'm going west into Tirisfal. My battle's not over yet. I've got an appointment with that harpy that calls herself a Banshee Queen, and I'm finding out what she did to Kultira. It took a while to follow through on that. They did finally follow through on it. Bingo, Lunarith. She's, frankly, extremist. It's the simplest way to put it. And she is leaning so hard towards extremism that she's... Well, you get it, right? Like she is... I guess I've already said all there is to say there. She becomes an extremist. Oh, I was so happy when they followed through on that. Frankly, there's a lot of plot threads that Legion followed through on. I was like, yes, finally! Like, a weirdly large number of them. Actually, it's not quite that long, Pillars of Stone. Is it? Wait, hang on. No, yeah, you're right. It's about 2 years. Never mind. Ignore me. Still. Yikes. So, if I had to define Sylvanas at this era, you know, the Sylvanas I gave a character positive to, it would be that she is overwhelmingly controlled by fear, her fear. She is willing to do whatever is necessary to do anything in order to accomplish her goal. I've talked so many times about the concept of the priority list. And when the whole point of a priority list, mental priority list, is when you have two things that are in contest, the priority list tells you which one of them wins, right? If I want to cook something, cool. I want to cook it well, I want to cook it fast, I want to cook it cheap. But if there's any conflict between those three things, I need to decide which of those is more important than the others, right? Make sense? Most people do this whether they're cognizant of it or not, but in Sylvanas' mind right now, her staying alive is more important than everything. And remember, Sylvanas was never a good person. Something that a lot of people tend to forget is that she was a violent, militant warmonger before she died. And then she did a lot of really horrible stuff for the sole purpose of getting, frankly, petty revenge. So, she doesn't exactly have a high horse to stand on to begin with. And now she's terrified of dying. Make of that what you will. What's the story? I mean, I'm going to stick with petty. Yeah, first of all, let me go ahead and say that, yes, I don't understand revenge like most people do. Blah, 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 blah. That's not relevant. If I'm willing to wipe out an entire nation, mass murder my way across said nation, conquering everything in my path, brute force an entire other nation and people who used to be my people into what is effectively servitude, create a super bioweapon ally with demons, pretty much directly led to the Wrathgate happening, and like 5 or 6 other really, really horrible atrocity level things just to get revenge, I'm officially willing to call that petty. Like, cost benefit, you know? You're getting revenge and it's costing you this. Maybe rethink that a little. Makes sense for her, though. She is definitely the kind of person who would never get over the slight to her that Arthas murdering her was. Which I know sounds like a weird statement, but I mean, this is Warcraft. I think you're right, Lunaruth. I don't think she even believes in the concept of peace. Because, once again, she's a warmonger. I don't think the trauma has anything to do with that. I think Sylvanas Windrunner never believed in peace. So, my take on that. Okay. Either way, lunchtime.